Interesting. And in return for this, what do you propose from our alliance?
In return for this, I would be very grateful. You have no idea how long I've been trying to capture him. So, in fact, the reward, the boon, is truly up to you. What do you wish?
I think Al would look at Patrick and then look around and he would say, I'm not sure I speak for everyone, but one of the biggest problems I found traveling this world is a lack of information, honestly. If I could ask anything from someone as knowledgeable as yourself, it would simply be that information on what's out there, what we could face, perhaps something that might help us in our travels.
Information.
I'll put it this way. There are many times where we have come across some sort of creature that we know nothing about and have never seen before, and there's no faster way than to die than not knowing what you're up against.
The dragon sorry, not the dragon mage, the lizard mage. And there's a dragon. No, just kidding.
Oh god.
The lizard mage pauses for a second and he says, yes, I could impart some of my knowledge to you so you be more aware of the non-human entities you come across and gird yourself against it. And with that, he asked quite clearly, so just so I am clear, you are agreeing to this task, yes?
Yes.
I am agreeing to it. However, I would be amiss to say that that is all we'd wanted for payment without actually asking everyone else first. I was simply kind of speaking my mind. Guys?
Fair enough.
Patrick's gonna look back at the quite silent Mila.
Mila doesn't really know what to make of the situation. She has a little bit of fear, but Patrick seems really excited, so she doesn't know if she should be excited too. So she's kind of standing there going from a big smile to like a little frown and then a big smile again and then a little frown. Just trying to make sense of the situation in her own Mila way.
You know what? I will pick up Hannibal and give him to Mila.
Okay.
Mila doesn't really notice the dog coming at her. She's too busy staring straight at the lizard mage. She's not breaking eye contact.
Okay, I'll just hold Hannibal then.
Okay.
But Patrick's gonna think for a bit, and out of character, I might need more time to decide. But
Yeah.
You can always ask him a favor later on.
yes,
Because at this point, the lizard mage says what he does is he is now offering you a special device. He plucks it once again from this dimensional hole that once again he opens up. He reaches a clawed hand in, and he pulls out an emerald-colored stone the size of a person's palm in a vague teardrop shape. Around the stone is an elegant silver pattern with a simple clasp for a necklace or chain on the top. Now give me a moment, because I have a picture, but I forgot to upload it ahead of time. So I'm going to just dig around for the picture now.
Patrick is looking at the lizard mage in stunned silence.
Uh-huh.
Al is looking at Patrick. Look at the lizard mage in stunned silence.
Okay. I see where this is going.
Mila makes a little noise. You can't tell if it's a hiccup or maybe like, I don't know, breathing.
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
Where's Alicia during all this?
Alicia?
Some fucking...
No.
I
No.
forgot to wake up anybody else. I noticed
Yeah.
that like right after I did this.
No, I think we'll have both Alicia and Pamel kind of slowly appear, and they themselves are just watching in stunned silence. But considering Patrick is handling this like a pro, they don't need to say anything. They just want this weird ass thing out of their behemoth.
God, poor Pam. She's nothing but strangeness ever since she's come to this place. Pineapple stuff, and now there's lizard mages. She just
Yeah.
wants a place to sleep for a few days.
Exactly. And the lizard mage
Ooh.
does explain that this all you need to do is hold it in both of your hands and simply think or will a communication with me. Although I am no servant or genie, whether I respond or arrive at your location is dependent on how busy I am and my current desires. But this is the best way to talk with me, for I will not always be on this reality.
Mila's now staring at that.
Fair enough. The lizard mage soon gets up, his full bulk very apparent as he kind of towers over you. Luckily, the behemoth's roofs are taller than 8 feet, so not a problem. And he says, I feel that this might be the beginning of a very good alliance. And with that, I think it is fair that you know my name. Although I doubt you could pronounce it, I will give you the name that my old worshippers decades ago used to give me. I am Tyrath, the Eternal.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Tyrath the Eternal.
And he gives a small bow. And he says, I look forward from hearing from you soon. And with that, he gives a few simple words in a foreign tongue, and an electrifying sensation throughout the room appears. And in a sizzling flash, the lizard mage disappears.
Damn.
Patrick is going to walk out into where generally a lot of this teleportation is, and just kind of like almost try to feel around the air if he can like feel anything.
Other than a few blue wisps of residual energy, which dissipate a few more seconds, there's everything else you feel is mundane and original in the behemoth.
Okay, I'm trying to write down his name was Tython the Eternal?
Tyrath.
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 The
Yeah, that's what I was
Eternal.
thinking.
Mhm.
The Eternal.
I hope the voice didn't bother you guys too much.
No.
No,
I
it was
thought
good.
fine. I could picture. Actually, I was like picturing like a lizard talking in my head, and I was like, "Oh, it's perfectly
Yay!
kind of adorable, actually."
Fair enough. Alicia, at this point, Alicia looks over to Pamel and she asks the mermaid to pinch her, in which Pamel gleefully does. And with that belt of pain, Alicia sighs and says, I was hoping this was just a weird-ass dream.
Nope.
Too interested in trying to touch magic
Fair
to
enough.
even notice what's going on behind me.
I think Al would talk to Patrick and say, Patrick?
Hmm?
Couple questions for you. These lizard mages, to your best of your knowledge, do they typically tend to be malevolent beings that manipulate people?
You have no
Yeah, I would not know. Like it was just like I guess it depends on
Well-
the lizard mage.
Okay.
This is a unicorn slathered in frosting with chocolate sprinkles. We have no fucking idea what it
Right. Right, but
Yeah,
Al
it's
would.
one of
Yeah,
those-
Al doesn't know what
Yeah.
Patrick knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
As far as I know, that's very little. It is an ancient being that has great power, and then he'll shrug.
So I guess a better question would be, if we were to upset it, would we be in trouble?
Depends on how much we upset it.
That's a decent answer.
Check and mate.
It's like, are we talking miffed or are we talking pissed? Because
It's like you accidentally spilled coffee on it, or you just stabbed its favorite puppy.
I think I would be. I mean, I don't have any objections to hunting down a changeling and taking care of it if it is a threat, as he says. We don't know anything about what just happened. For all we know, we could be doing the bidding of some malevolent being and murdering some innocent changeling.
I did think of that, but our hand in this is location purely. If the changeling gets out of it, whatever he does, that is not our concern. It's very much just information about location and person.
But
And
if the changeling
Yeah.
is innocent and we lead the lizard mage right to him and he gets murdered, are we really not responsible?
Patrick will sit back and just kind of be in a pondering state. It is much. People are going to kill each other over grudges, evil or good. I do know. Wait, how much do I know about the usual, like, good or bad for changelings?
You know that changelings have a reputation of being distressful because of their nature, and in fact, many races. So your texts have said have had to combat them. So, although it is not fair to generalize against them at all, they are known to have a duplicitous nature. That's what
Right.
you know of change
Yeah.
with your 44.
I think Al would be pondering for a while too, and then he'd probably eventually say, well, if you don't get in the game, you can't play. If what we were told was true, then it would be in everyone's best interest to help. We get rid of an evil changeling, we get the favor of an extremely powerful being. If we were lied to, said powerful being will find this changeling no matter what we do, and if we do nothing, then we can do nothing. So I
Well,
am
if
for...
he's
Go ahead.
if he is lying about how good intent the halfling is, we do not know the squabble between those two. But if there has to be a reason why he wants that particular person, it has to have wounded him in some way, good nature or ill. If it was ill-natured, and
And I would say, here's another way to look at it. Let's say we take the lizard mage at face value and believe what it says. We'll be doing the world a favor. We'll be gaining the favor of a powerful being. Let's say we don't believe what the lizard mage says. Then we're being manipulated for some way, in some means, in some form. And if we're being manipulated, then the last thing we can do is trust that the lizard mage is just going to leave us alone if we decide not to do its bidding. So I think our only logical choice at the moment is simply to do the favor, find the changeling, make our own assessment of what's going on, and go from there.
Alrighty.
I think as Patrick would be like, if we question the changeling at all, he's going to disappear. We have to make sure if we want to actually get this information to the lizard, we have to not make ourselves known to the changeling.
Al nodded his head. Oh, I was suggesting we just go up and question him. So what have you done to lizard mages lately? I think I agree that we will have to deal with this subtly.
Patrick is going to find a seat, sit back, and just take in all what is going on at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you guys ample time to do a little bit of role playing if you wish. But my idea for the next scene was actually you guys approaching New Laszlo, with the Endless Storytellers. So that's about another day or so. So if there's anything you guys would like to discuss or role play or engage in or anything like that, well, please speak now. If you still want to mull over this decision, feel free to.
Patrick
Hannibal
is way
has
too
calmed
trusting.
down at this point, so he's good.
I will say right now, Patrick is way too generally trusting to assume that this is any ill intent. And throughout the entire thing, he's only seeing positives.
Fair enough.
And I think Al would be curious what the others had to say. I think he's come to the conclusion already of what he thinks is the best course of action, but he would want to know what everyone else thinks.
Mila really wants chocolate milk right now, so she's gonna go and get some.
Do you
Okay.
have any chocolate?
No, just chocolate milk.
Oh.
All the chocolate that you could have gotten has been now put into milk form thanks to Mila's proclivities.
Cooking with Mila.
Cooking with Mila. First you get your chocolate milk, then you pour it down your throat.
You're done!
Woo! Chocolate milk with Mila.
It's a
Tune in
meal
next
every
week.
day.
Tune in next week when I show you how to get seconds.
I show you how to fall asleep in your mashed potatoes. Okay, anyway.
Too soon.
Sorry, I think we were asking for Tom's input now.
Yes.
Sorry, might have been incorrect.
I would rather not piss off the lizard mage. So if it means tracking down a changeling, then that's what I will want to do.
Good.
It's as simple as that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to piss that dude off. He can bend space and time.
I'm made of both space and time. I don't want to be bent.
I'm no willow branch.
Anyway, all right. So are we good to just go on to the next scene?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Fantastic. Okay. So, this will be the approach onto New Laszlo, and I'm going to make the approach a little flowery, just to really give you a good description of the town and what New Laszlo is. All right. So hopefully you don't mind listening to me talk
Like a Jamaican.
like a Jamaican. All right. Anyway. Oh, that was horrible. All right. So as you approach, it is early in the morning on the second day of the travel. And the cluster of trees you've been traveling through breaks into an open, sweeping valley. Small farm communities dot the landscape, and people, both human and DB alike, go about their day. The slight orange glow of a rising sun falls upon the landscape. It appears that the harvest is starting soon, and the fields are filled with workers. Now, past these small dots of rural lifestyle lies the jewel of what used to be South Michigan. A dynamic and eclectic town, New Laszlo easily dwarfs Perrin's Post in both size and scope. Home to 45,000 humans and non-humans alike, New Laszlo was originally built on the site of an archaeological dig. And this small beacon of knowledge, magic, and independence is what eventually developed. The vast array of homes, businesses, and governmental buildings, constructed from a mixture of brick and timber, is attractive enough from a distance. What aids in this attraction is that, despite the size of the town, there does not seem to be any sort of factories or industrial complexes, and clean, fresh air fills your nostrils. However, there is a certain hodgepodge feel to the town. From casual observation, it seems that no overall planning was made in regards to creating like districts or zones or residential areas, and layers of buildings simply grow out from the center of the town. The main, most apparent attraction is a 12-story tall, rectangular-shaped building reminiscent of some sort of tower. It appears to be made of a off-white cement or stonework with various windows poking out from all sides. And once again, I have a picture of it that I once again forgot to freaking upload. So, but this will be faster because I have it here. I just got to do it.
Al stares at Laszlo in...
Stare Laszlo in shock and awe.
Shock and terror.
Shock and terror.
Bardamek.
Bardamak.
There it is. There's our tower.
Ooh.
So, continuing on. New Laszlo has a growing economy. Thanks to the cluster of villages around, the entire population's food source can be supported by both agriculture and herding. Although there is some technological presence here, New Laszlo's biggest strength is in its techno-wizardry, research, and the sale and teaching of the mystical arts. New Laszlo's biggest weakness, however, ever since its founding, is the fact that it is a scarce 50 miles away from the pre-Rifts ruins of what was known as Old Detroit and Old Windsor. Various supernatural threats, evil entities, and grandiose alien intelligences are known to emerge from this powerful ley line nexus that resides in these ruins, and it is not surprising that some of them stumble upon New Laszlo. Perhaps that is why, as you approach, you go through several security checkpoints. And Al, you can easily identify a considerable amount of patrols and recon, especially for a town of this size.
Okay.
Okay. Now, also just a little bit of background. Now, obviously, you don't get all this knowledge from just looking at the damn town, but also from the endless storytellers they've been here before. So other staff members, other performers, Zoe or Corin or all the other folks. They would let you know this, right? And just a heads up on the governance so you're aware of it. New Laszlo is run by both a small council and a large council. The small council is made up of 6 members, which provide more the overall leadership and planning, who have a greater authority and voting power. It's a position of great prestige, but also great responsibility. And the large council is made of 60 members, and each of them has a more specific sphere of influence and responsibility, but none of the positions are symbolic. They all report to the small council and the population at large. So now, I'll give you a heads up. I still need another week to prepare, and I'm hoping you guys will be in Laszlo for that time, because in an effort to prevent a lot of shopping while we're doing this session, what I am going to give you is an outline of all the areas of interest with a description of them, and I'm going to make that all available to you through Roll20 here. So you can open up the list and be like, oh, this shop seems really neat. I want to go here. Or, oh, this shop sells that. I'd like to check this out. Or, oh, whoa, what does this entertainment district do? Let's check it out. You know what I mean? But right now it's only really half completed, and I'm hoping that the rest of this session will be more on the objective versus objective-based type of thing, so you won't have a lot of time to reach around. But if you do want to do a lot of exploring today in this session, feel free to do so, and I'll just wing it. I'll let you know what we have, right? But I will tell you, like many, and you would all be aware of this, many cities in North America with, weapons that can do mega damage, that things are kind of quarantined off. There's typically a section before you get into the main town called the Strip. And that's where your, mega damage weapons, your vehicles, your robots, all that stuff is sold. And then inside the town proper is where is a kind of a safe area. Okay? Mm-hmm. So As the endless storytellers, along with you, the caravan approaches New Laszlo. They do settle on a field to the east of it, right by the entrance, and Zoe kind of gets everyone together to, head up to the actual town itself. It's going to take a few days to set up, but a part of the, I guess you could say, the tradition of the endless storytellers in New Laszlo is that they have an appointment to meet the small council and the large council in kind of a greeting, almost not quite a ceremony like over at Parents Post, but a really nice a small, simple meet and greet where Zoe can also negotiate the price for this season of people of what they're going to pay and other such maybe needs that the council wants from the entertainment. All right? And you, as performers and vital individuals in the Endless Storytellers, is actually invited to this get-together. So do you accept the invite?
I do.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mila's gonna put on a dress for it.
Okay, that's nice.
Oh, cool.
All right.
I'm going to specifically not walk around in lizard-looking scale armor and get on my normal power, or not power armor.
Body armor?
Body
Well,
armor.
actually, you won't be wearing your body. Well, you don't. This is really a relatively safe area, and
Okay.
the meeting is going to be going on inside the city, and inside the city itself, inside kind of like some council chambers. So you can just wear your clothes. You don't need to worry about suiting up for combat.
Okay. I guess if we're noting what we're wearing, I'm going to be wearing basically what would be in my photo. No dress up at all. It's very much like what he wears day to day.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So everyone's assembled. Everyone kind of gets settled for a couple hours, and the meeting, it's going to be kind of a lunch meeting type of thing. That's what it was scheduled for. And Zoe, assures everyone just to wear the normal clothes. If you want to keep something for personal defense, like a pistol or a knife or something like that, feel free to do so. We have safe passage there, and Laszlo's a pretty darn safe place. So everyone assembles and heads past the strip and into the main gate when they come across a security check. And one of the guards there, she's in a dark green and brown uniform. And by the insignias on her shirt there, Al, you can notice that it seems that she outranks a lot of the other folks there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tall Filipino woman with black curly hair that's clamped tightly to her head with like a dozen or so bobby pins. And she has a sharp, bony face with harsh brown eyes. And her voice is husky and on the deeper scale for a woman. And she stops the kind of little entourage there with Zoe in the lead, and she stops and she says, "Hold up there, Zoe. I've been asked to escort you to the meeting hall, but we're going to have to ask to search everyone here and not allow any sort of weapons." To this, Zoe and Caleb balk quite a bit. And there's quite a bit of fluster going on at the front gate, mentioning of, we're friends of the small council. We've been doing this for 8 seasons. Why all this searching right now? Why confiscating the weapons right now? And the woman who is introduced, or you're able to gather her name, is Shauna. Shauna says that there has been a severe incident in New Laszlo, and security is on high, and even the most trusted people everyone has to be treated the same, and that is absolutely no weapons, no bionics, nothing in New Laszlo. So, I guess the big question is, after a little bit of grumbling and vague threats of Zoe talking to the small council, she submits to a search, And the question is, do your characters submit to a search? Do you just give over your weapons? Now, this, similar to Parents Post, this is in a secure area, so that your items are marked, identified, and it's easy for you to retrieve them when you go in and out of the city. But I know some of you, I don't want to speak for your characters, so do you consent to a search? Do
I have
you
a
hand over your weapons?
question. Will I have a quick moment to speak to Zoe quietly?
Yeah. During this fluster, while other people are getting checked out? Yeah, sure.
I want to quietly say to her and say, my instinct is to keep a weapon on me, but the last thing I want to do is cause problem for you guys.
Zoe says, she shakes her head. She's like, you better hand it over, Al. Just because I've known Shauna and she's always been a bit of a hard ass, but this is kind of uncommon for them. And they have a pretty, she pauses for a second, effective legal system. I'd hate for you to be imprisoned for
Fair
not
enough.
doing that.
Fair enough. Then I'm not going to try and keep any. I'll give up my Neuroblitz.
Okay. Everyone else, you consent to a search? You hand over
yeah.
your weapons? You're good? Okay.
Tom's fine with handing over everything.
Okay. All right. And
we mean your fire too, Tom. You got to give up your fire.
you gotta hand over your brain. Can we please have your brain, please, sir? Young man.
Tom's like, oh, hey, well, I guess.
I guess rules are rules. Scoop. Scoop.
So, this escort to the meet and greet... Oh, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was going to say,
heard
before
the
we go,
ooh.
one thing real quick. After that search, can I call for Jackie at least to come with us?
Ooh, Jackie.